I want. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday night to you. For me, it's Saturday night. For you, it might be Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. I do not know. Maybe Sunday. I don't know where you are in the world, mate. What can I tell you? Time is a weird thing. Time and space is relative, I tell you. Time and relative dimension in space. That's something you should always need to keep aware of. Anyway, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here. I hope you're well. I have had a fun and spanky time. Let me tell you, it's much has transpassed since we last spoke, right? Much has transpassed. It's been 48 hours. I'm kind of liking the daily streaming, right? I am enjoying that. I think as Rumble is more into politics, I might do I really want to talk about stuff I can't talk about on YouTube. So I think I might start doing regular segments on Rumble only so I can, because I think the trans thing is an important thing to talk about. I mean, I really do, and you can't talk about it on YouTube. So it's called bullying. I'm not talking about it at all, YouTube, right? But man, loving the Rumble. Anyway, it was just Sabbath for me. I haven't even looked at the news yet, mate. It's a lot's been going down. I did see that toxic fandom's reign of terror appears to be over. Completely. Like people have been complaining about Trevor Baxendale and Gareth Roberts, which are people in Doctor Who fandom who have been Gareth Roberts anyway. They used to be mainstream. They used to be listened to and feared, right? That's exactly what happened. Now they were completely blown off, right? They basically said you and your entire demographic are completely irrelevant and annoying. Shut up and go away, right? That's the which we'll be looking at tonight. We'll be talking about Picard a bit. Man, Picard just gets better and better. It's actually crazy how good Picard is. It's somewhat ridiculous how good Picard is. This really, for me, I keep saying this. This is probably certainly the best Next Generation I've ever seen. It really is. It's up there. There's a night's episode. We get to flesh out the villain. Incredible character scene with Georgie and Data. There's wonderful stuff. Really genuinely wonderful stuff. I'm just making the PDF so we can review it. I have a guest coming in to a review it with me, so he can only stay till 8 o'clock, right? So whenever he comes in, we will get us started. Although I'm just trying to get the PDF ready now, as we're talking. Anyway, as I said, so our biggest news stuff. Much I have to show you, right? We have friends visiting who live and work in DC, right? I imagine our political outlooks are not similar, right? That's that. Now, look, live and let live. Here's the thing, right? And it really winds me up. I would love to be able to talk about go into the details of the differences, right? I really would love to by somebody who I think could articulate it, but it's like a guy who I was in rabbinic seminary with, right? This will tie in. His kid stopped being religious, which is it does happen. But see, the place I went to religious seminary, I wasn't religious when I went in at all. They offered me free bed, free food, and interesting spiritual classes. I'm like, I'm up for all of those, particularly the free bed and free food. I mean, I'm very up for that, right? And it's it's a missionizing place, but they missionize to Jews, but not non-Jews, right? Because you're not allowed to missionize to non-Jews in Judaism, right? And in fact, if somebody wants to convert, you have to dissuade them. I'm like, just before you decide to turn Jewish, can I just point out one thing for you? The entirety of history. Yeah. All that stuff, right? Are you sure? Oh, yeah, sure. I'm not sure that you're sure. Just look at the entirety of history, right? I was trying to explain to somebody what the reaction to the Sue's Doomsday trailer was like. And the best analogy I could come up with, and it's my community struck, I don't know, it's like a Jew, and one of my brethren, obviously, yeah, escaping from Auschwitz, right? Or being liberated from Auschwitz, right? And then turning up, boom, they put him right back there, like, ah! A much more better, more friendly genre example would be, that all the prisoners where he thinks he gets out, and he's back to still. Why did you resign, number 6? Why did you resign? Why? Well, for a minute. Wait a minute. Those chimes are wrong. Da, 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 bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that sort of thing. Just without as good music. You are in the video. I would love to be number 2. Who would be number 6 to my number 2? I don't know. I would like Noel to be my number 6 to my number 2. I don't know why. That just sounds really funny. I think he'll be very good. Fine. Yes, good evening, after good morning. Fine. I've made that PDF is all made up. We are ready to rock and roll for Picard, right? Oh, I love a bit of Picard. Anyway. So we have relatives visiting from the DC Beltway. They live and work there. So I would love to talk to them, right? I think we can't do it. Because it's like, oh yeah, I was saying because my mate, right? So yeah, I'll tie all this in, right? So his son became not religious, but like super not religious. So to help him become religious, he sent his son to the place I went to, the place that I became religious, right? And now this kid, super duper smart, right? Super intelligent. And the thing is, the place I went to, and I could have told you that at the time, the arguments they have are somewhat pre-programmed, right? That they work and they've like tried and tested, right? But you don't. So it allows people who don't really understand them to use them, which is a problem, right? Because then when you become like, when somebody questions them, you get flustered and you're stuck, right? You really got to know something to be able to give it over. The best way to get to know something is by giving it over, right? Like the traditional Jewish way of studying is in pairs called charuta. 2 people together, they read it out. Like if you go to like a Jewish ceremony, it's not quiet, right? It's all people like me shouting at each other about. We studied this thing called the Talmud, right? About how to interpret it correctly according to, and it's a complicated thing, and you have to be passionate about your damn argument, right? And it's like a ton of people, ton of Jews getting worked up. That's what it's like. It really, you should go to one. If you ever come to Israel, you should totally go to one. It's wild, right? So this kid just destroyed all their argument, and he wrote an article about it, and I can so empathize with him because his father was a bit of a dummy. I will be frank, he was a bit of a dumb jock, right? But so he wrote in his I felt bad having these conversations with these rabbis because I knew I would break them. And I don't want to do it. Legitimately don't. I'm like, I do like our family, right? I actually do genuinely like family. Like when I say like family, my wife's family. My family is like a couple of people. Well, I got my sister's kids. I like them as well. I like family, right? I do like family. I do like extended family. It's lovely having them visit. It's lovely to see them. It really genuinely is, right? Like people are a bit like nervous about us because my wife's niece, who we're very close with, right, married somebody who isn't Jewish, which is somewhat of a taboo in the Jewish world. I mean, it used to be. I don't know. But what can I say? Live and live, baby. It's like everybody has their own life. We still love the knees, and the bloke's very nice. What do you want at me, right? It's not my place to push my values on you, right? I don't know I'm right. It's crazy. And I just wish everybody well, right? People are nervous that I'm less judgmental than I used to be about these sort of things. Frankly, so people were nervous for good reason. because I am a bit of a how do I describe it? Mouthy cunt at times, right? That could happen. But anyway, so you know, they just arrived. We're sitting chatting. Said, "Oh, did you? We talk about AI." So I said, "Did you see the crazy Trump ones?" Like, and he was like, "Don't." I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry. This was just about the pictures. What? I won't. Yeah, nothing." I know because I think they believe I'm like a gun-toting redneck, ready, all fired up over Trump got indicted. Man, that's just good news for Trump. I'm sorry. And the fact that anybody, the people, you know, who are on the Biden side of things don't think so, just shows how incredibly disconnected. This is a disaster for the Democrats. This is, and it's given Donald Trump both the nomination and the presidency all on its own. Right. I really, this is huge, right? Huge, right? And on Tuesday, he's supposed to be like fingerprinted, which is going to be a photo op. Do you have any idea how much money he's going to raise off this, right? Because the thing is, they're indicting him on bullshit. But while Biden's, you know, and Clinton and everybody else is clearly super duper dirty, right? So I can't really go into details about this on YouTube. This is the sort of thing I'll talk more about on Rumble. I really want to talk to the trans community, right? I would love to try and connect with them, right? Because I believe they've been made to believe they're under attack when I don't think they are, right? I don't think they are. And, you know, if you saw... Oh, where's my mouth going? If you saw my my video yesterday... Let me pull up the slide. If you saw my video yesterday, it was... yeah, 1 second. Doink. There you go. I have to say, I did us proud. I did us proud. Both Millie and Perry, Millie and Nicholas, Millie and both Perry and Ruby do look fantastic, right? And I have to say, I just think I got the right body. I mean, listen. The Perry's a bit tall. Let's be frank, but you know, I'm not going to complain. It just works very well. Yes, you're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. This is what I do for my people. Anyway, my video of yesterday. Where was it? This one of these ones, I'm sure. Oh, maybe it's not. I gotta find the slide. Well, the thumbnail. 1 second. It was part of it was going over Rusty Davis's column. Always the first thing I go to in Doctor Who magazine. Like genuinely, the first thing I go to with good reason because it's normally very good. Here it comes. There you go. So yeah, so this was was it? This was the his column where he has this magical story of oh my guest just came and he went. Listen, I finish people off quickly. That is true. Where'd he go? Just give me a minute. I'll wrap it up. Where'd he go? Never mind. Well, I'll tap dance till he gets back. Okay, we're good, baby. 1 second. You know what? I will send him a message by the magic of the interweb. Where did you go? Doink. Was just wrapping up the segment. Twink. Okay, fine. Hopefully I send that to the right person. We go. Now I've lost the window. Oh, here we go. That's what we are. Fine. So yeah, so his column is great. He talks about this magical moment where he meets this drag queen in I think filming in Cardiff or London and something. And look, let's be frank. Everybody loves a drag queen. Drag queens are fucking awesome. I mean, that's the thing. Drag queens are fun. They're silly. They're vibrant. Okay. They're also a little wacky. You know, this is not somebody you want to base your life on, but they're fun to be around. Everybody loves a drag queen, right? Everybody loves that. That's a great one to come on. Everybody loves a drag queen, right? So this story is basically like he hooks up with a drag queen and they have like quick, passionate love in a gay club, right? And then he goes back to filming Doctor Who, right? And I'm like, that sounds great. I'm glad he had a good time. So here's the thing. This is just my opinion, and I'm not dissing you. I hope you have a good life. I hope he has a good life, right? I'm not pushing my opinion, my worldview on him or anybody else, right? I do want to transmit it to my children because I believe it's going to... My worldview is essentially, for a happy life, do the boring shit in the Old Testament, like marriage, fidelity, honesty, all the shit that's boring, that nobody wants to do. Just do that and have a happy life. Like having a hookup in a gay club. Well, I'm sure it's fun, right? It's not something I would like. I would love my children to be that happy, right? But I don't think it's going to lead to a fulfilling life. I'm not dissing anyone. I'm not dissing him. I'm not dissing you. This is my personal outlook, right? I want my children to have the maximum happiness. That's just me, right? So I think that's my point. You know, that's totally like that. Everyone loves a drag queen. Everyone loves a freaking drag queen. But you know, there's a time and place for everything. Drag queens in play school. Not so much, mate. Not so much. Anyway, we're gonna move things around a bit, baby, because you know me, I'm fluid. Much like the protagonist, the antagonist, I should say, of this week's Picard this season. Speaking of everybody loving a drag queen, now there's some person that I could think has a real insight into this. He is in the acting world. I wouldn't call him a lovey, but I think he probably does hang with the lovers. Of course, you know him, you love him. You go to his channel whenever you want to know if a what's the word they're thinking of? Hard copy release. Yeah, if you actually want a hard copy release, you want to know what's going on. You go, of course. So Keith, British Isles, how are you? Hello, medium mindful. How are you, sir?
How are you doing? I'm well. I wondered what you were going to say there for a minute.
I tell you, so did I. So did I, but I thought I could pull it out. I didn't know where I was going, but I thought I could pull it out. And Rusty Davis said the same thing.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm awfully good. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good. Not too bad.
You came from you were at a horror festival a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I was. Yes, I was at Fright Fest.
How was that?
Up in Glasgow's Fright Fest, and yeah, very good. Very good.
Listen. Saying Glasgow and Fright Fest, that's kind of like a redundancy.
What one and the same? Yeah,
exactly.
No, it was good. So yeah, I've been away a bit, but yeah, thanks for asking me to come back on. And
well, listen. I mean, look, this is literally the best Star Trek I've ever seen, and I'm not. It literally is. Like it gets better every week. So last week I cried at least twice, right? And moaned with pleasure often, right? Like without touching myself at all, which is unusual. That I wasn't touching myself and I moaned with pleasure. Yeah, both those things. Never mind. But and again, brought to tears again in this week's. It's not the member berries, right? It is the serially good writing based on a deep knowledge of the characters.
Yeah,
right?
No, absolutely,
fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with member berries or fan service or any of that stuff, as long as it's kind of serves the story or serves the character,
serves the story,
and doesn't distract from what they're telling. And as I said, Terry Matalas and his team have done a really good job of this. They've struck that fine balance between.
Well, I think last week the museum was a bit full frontal Starship porn, but I loved it. Okay, I loved it.
Yeah, it was. I'm actually thinking that it was a bit of foreshadowing, because I think that's going to come, particularly when they mention that those old decommissioned ships are not connected to any of the Starfleet networks. So I think that's going to very much come into play.
Oh, you're smart. See, this is why I want you on.
I've got all sorts of wild theories, but no.
Okay, we're definitely seeing Deep Space Nine, don't you think?
Oh yes, definitely. But I think that that scene was obviously one to keep all of the long-term fans happy. Yes, it was member berry heaven and all of that. But as I said, I felt that it wasn't distracting from the story, and I think, as I said, I think it's setting something up that we're going to see. So I was all for it. I really enjoyed that part.
Yeah. Also, it seemed very organic to where Geordie was when we last saw him, where he is at life now. That's something I really like, by the way. They had this confrontation between Geordie and his daughter, right? And it like Geordie is his daughter plus 30, 40 years. So he's got the weight of responsibility on him. And she's like, no, I'm going to put everything on the line for what's right. He's like, I got kids. We got to look after you. There's no freaking like I totally get both of them, right? And I do like she talked him around. It was really good. Yeah. But like it's firing on every level. I love the new characters. I love the old characters. I like the characters, right? Villain this week just gets gets a Khan level origin.
Definitely.
It's just firing all cylinders.
Yeah, the other thing they've done with this, which I kind of appreciate as well, is they have not shied away in any way or shape or form in terms of what Picard has done in the previous seasons. You know,
yeah.
And it would have been very easy for them to have just ignored that and kind of retconned
That's what I like about it. It's integral.
But they've embraced it and they've made it an integral part of the story. It's almost like that retrospectively improving something.
Yes, it's not almost. That's exactly what it was. Yes, okay. Still, I want, ladies and gentlemen, everybody out there, anybody listening to this broadcast, please hear my words. Do not watch Picard season 1 or 2. Do not watch Picard. I'm saying this for your benefit. Really, I've done it so you don't have to, okay? Do not watch Picard season 1. If you haven't done it, it's like saying, oh, look, there's some dog shit. I wonder if it tastes nice. It doesn't, okay? It doesn't. It's not chocolate. Don't touch it. Don't go near it. That's my advice.
Absolutely. And I mean, you're not really... The things that were set up in that show, they kind of explain in this one anyway, like, you know, the Picard's Picard's conscience being downloaded into a golem.
See, now it's feels like more of a medical thing, especially now you got this new data, right? They just made it right.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best use of Brent Spiner outside of the main Next Generation series and movies since his appearance as one of his ancestors in Enterprise. Yeah, which I thought that was
that was very good. I like that 3-part
exactly. But every time they've tried to crowbar him in since, for me, it hasn't really worked. It's been sort of too much of a coincidental resemblance.
I mean, like, really, that's a very strong set of genes.
Yeah, exactly.
I do. Before we go forward, I'm not getting the chat. I'll do Keith on a bit of a limited time budget. I think it's the best way of saying it. I'll get to the chat after we finish Star Trek Picard. But just want to say hello to PD Rich. Dan is it? How you doing, Dan? That's very good. Oh, you like my thumbnail? I like it. Did you see my thumbnail for tonight? I'm quite proud of it.
Yes, very, very good, very amusing as always.
I do my best,
and I do appreciate your viewers there promoting my channel and stuff in the stream. Thank you, Darren M. That's the
mods are freaking awesome.
Yes,
honestly, they are saints among men. Yeah, no, the mods are freaking awesome. Thank you all, if I may say so. Fine. Right, shall we start plowing into tonight's episode?
I've got my Earl Grey tea here at the ready. So
that's why I married my wife, by the way. Well,
that's not the only reason.
No, it probably is, right? So, like in religious Jewish dating, right, you're set up by a matchmaker. Like I used to have like this black gangster hat. You ever seen those Jews with the black hats and the black outfits and the
yes.
That was me.
I live in North London.
There you go.
So I see a lot of those people. Yes.
So I was one of them going on a date with my wife set up, right? And most dates were awful, and you wanted to shoot yourself afterwards. But that was just me for you. That's what. Anyway, That's what the judge said. Anyway, my wife comes in, and you meet in like hotel lobbies, which are kind of swanky, and it's public, and you don't touch each other till you get married, right? So it's a very like verbal relationship. So my wife comes in. I say, "Oh, would you like order a drink? You know, you get something in a hotel lobby." And she says, "Yes. I'll have tea. Earl Grey, hot." I'm like, "Well, okay, that's it. I'm done, right?" And I had literally decided to marry her by the end of the day.
Perfect.
So there you go.
There you go. What a fitting move into talking about Picard. Absolutely. Oh, but by the way, somebody in your chat called PD Rich has asked if Fright Fest is still going. Yes, it's still very much going. They run it twice a year, once in Glasgow in March. They do it in London on the August bank holiday, the summer bank holiday. Plus, they have special events at Halloween as well. So, yeah, Fright Fest.
What is Fright Fest? Let's say you go to Fright Fest. What would you see?
Oh, well, Fright Fest is great because you see horror movies and thrillers, from all over the world.
That's really cool.
It's all different types of budgets, all different countries. Things that you might not
I love foreign horror movies. Like they're so weird, like the Spanish ones. There's from the 80s and 90s. They are just weird and scary.
They are, yes. So you see a bit of everything. I mean, obviously, horror is one of those genres. I consider it kind of a cross genre. So you have horror comedies, horror thrillers.
Yeah.
You have different subgenres like slashers and all ghost stories, all sorts of stuff. So they really mix it up. You get a real mixed bag. You get some things with established Hollywood actors that have quite big budgets, and then you get other stuff that was literally made on a shoestring with people you've never heard of. And
okay, just off the top of your head, either the best. What do you think is the best horror movie of all time, or in your top 10? One in your top 10.
Oh my lord. Okay. Okay. So springing to mind for me, Halloween, John Carpenter's original Halloween was in terms of slasher was a film that affected me when I was too young to see it, to be perfectly honest. And in terms of if we look at the Stephen King works, I know everybody says The Shining, which I love also, but Misery is actually one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about the adaptation?
The film adaptation of Misery, by Rob Reiner, starring James Caan and Kathy Bates.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Great movie. Really love that. But in terms of sort of modern directors, I think anything that's done by Mike Flanagan nowadays is usually worth a watch. He did Doctor Sleep, which was the Shining sequel.
Oh yeah, I didn't bother with that. I think you were great got super woke promoting another film. I'm like, leave me alone. I'll get it on a streaming service. That's really my rationale, and I don't think I'm
lucky Ewan McGregor. You know what I mean? So there you go. But no, it's really, really good. But yeah, so but in terms of whenever people ask me what my favorite of something is, it's really difficult to answer.
That's why I said one in your top 10. Unless I figured either you have one that you're like yes, or there's and if you don't, one in your top 10, close enough.
Exactly. Well, I've given you a couple of examples there, but I could talk all night about that, and I know that's not what we're here for. So
well, you only got half hour. We're talking about Picard. Fine. So we have this very whooshy opening. Now, may I say, I don't recommend the use of recreational drugs. I don't recommend it. But if you do, I don't recommend it. This is freaking awesome. Especially in 4K. It's like, whoa. So where are we up to? We got the fine, yeah. So it starts off. Oh, awesome scene! I forgot how awesome the scene was. Starts off, we have Titan is and I like it's not an Enterprise, right? I like it's a different ship, but basically the same, right? Yeah. I just feels like less silly to be the Titan, right? Titan's hiding out in the shipyard, which I really like, the Chintoka shipyard.
It was
And
mentioned in Deep Space Nine several times, by the way, the Chinook system. Yeah. So that's a little Easter egg there. Yeah.
So we got to be seeing DS9 at some point, right? I mean, it's like a given. Fine. So so we get a great scene. 7 of 9 is talking to none other than Tuvok, a graying Tuvok, and it's really great. As for a character I didn't really care much about, which I didn't care about much about any of the characters in Voyager other than the Doctor. Although I
love Tuvok. I have to say I'm one of the Voyager apologists. I defend Voyager.
You like it. Never apologize. I like shit. Oh God, it's like whatever you want to like.
Exactly. I'm a real defender of Voyager because
I would watch Voyager. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. My take on Voyager. What my is it? The 2-sentence review. Interesting sci-fi stories with a bland cast of characters.
Oh, okay.
the sci-fi in it was really good. They had some really interesting ideas.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't find. I actually like the characters, but what the thing with Voyager is, and this was pressure from the network and stuff,
right?
But they played it too safe. It literally turned into sort of a planet or problem of the week episode, right?
Right. It did. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Did you ever see? I don't know whether you're into Stargate at all, but
no, I've tried so many times. I like the movie with Kurt Russell and Kevin Spader. What's his Spader?
James Spader. Yeah, James.
I've watched the TV. I've watched so many versions of the TV one. And I haven't liked any.
I was not really a fan of. I like the movie like you. I was never really a fan of the SG-1 or Atlantis series, but they did do another series called Stargate Universe. Okay,
I think I saw that. That was I saw like 4 or 5 episodes of that. That kept me longer than anything else.
Well, the thing is, that was kind of what I think Voyager could be or could have been. Because the thing was, they were lost in space as well, right?
Right.
But there was half of the crew were scientists, and there were a couple of like politicians and stuff on there, and the other half were military, and they didn't see eye to eye. So you had a lot of internal conflict, and I thought they should have done that with the Marquis crew integrating with the Starfleet crew, and that would have been quite. And also Voyager should have got. They did a 2-part episode called the year of hell.
They should have totally reset. I totally agree.
Because the ship basically repaired itself pretty much every week, and they should have dealt with stuff like running out of supplies.
Right. And by season 4, in the titles, and he should have had like a different alien warp cell or something like bolted on. Like each year they should have changed it a little bit, but they're so expensive to film. They only started digital around season 3 or 4, I think.
That's right. I mean, it was part budget, part what the network wanted, to keep. They were playing safe, and there was a number of reasons, but overall I really liked the concept of Voyager, and I did like the characters, so I am pleased that we're seeing a lot of Voyager.
I'm happy to see Tuvok. I'm like weirdly happy to see Tuvok, right? And they had the perfect music cue for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the what's the name? The shape, the what's it called? Not the shape. What are they called again? Changelings.
The changelings. Yeah.
Right. Let's say the changelings. They've got this new ability somehow to really hold their form, and so they're basically in. So you have this like conversation with everybody watching on between Tuvok and 709. And again, it's so great to see him. I love great Tuvok. It makes me happy, right? And I love this bald Vulcan. I want to know more about the bald Vulcan, and I like Captain Shaw. Who wants a Captain Shaw show? It's like so much.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
He is really coming into his own, right? So there's great conversation between Tuvok, and finally she rumbles him, right? Said the Vulcan would never go there. She's, I feel bad for you. I know what they have in mind. We're supervillains. And they said, where's Will Riker? He's already dead. Dun, dun, dun. Again, that means the whole ship must be changelings if he's changing in plain sight.
Yes. No, absolutely.
I
did like that. I mean, it was a bit. I mean, it's a bit moustache twirly and stuff, but why not? You know,
why not? Right. And I kind of like George's outfit, which has like this like workman apron built into it. Right, I think that's very cool.
Yeah, they've really gone sort of stylized with the uniforms this season. I mean, I think he's supposed to be a Commodore, so I think that's like a Commodore's variant or something of the uniform.
Oh, I thought because he was like an engineering person, it looked more like.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I really do like. I mean, I'm loving the leather jackets and stuff that they're bringing into it. You know.
Oh, right, now they're not Starfleet. Yeah.
I love all that. But yeah,
it's very good. So again, yeah, for something that maybe I hated this before. Now I think it's totally earned all those words on the screen. Right, absolutely, 100%. Part 7, Dominion, like every step of the way, like everything is right. Like, oh, that's a good idea. Meanwhile, right on the oh no, we're not on the strike. Let's see. They're in the yard and they're having a conversation. What are they talking about? Basically, they're talking strategy about. Oh, they're trying to work out what to do. And they said, and they decided to go and see Data. That's the point of the scene. Okay, you saw people you like, and they said, oh, let's go see if we can talk to Data. And that's LeVar Burton's real daughter, looking reasonably hot. I think that's the other thing I like with this. Star Trek has a always had a minimum line of hotness, right? Which is back, okay? Which is back.
Well, it came all the way from Gene Roddenberry. Yeah, let's be honest. Gene Roddenberry, like the ladies, and Star Trek was always a sexy show, and it always has been all the way through. And obviously that gets frowned upon nowadays, but
I think it's ridiculous.
It's part of what Star Trek is, isn't it?
I mean, look, I'm sorry. Like, I won't feel ashamed for being a heterosexual male. It's like, look, I'm not, recommending while you're watching it, rubbing one out over the screen. That would be weird, right? That's a bit much. But like going, oh, she's pretty hot. Okay, and listen, most people will keep it to themselves, right? But listen. I like to share, baby. I like to share.
They have an attractive cast. And,
they do.
And that applies. That applies to both genders, right? So it's all fair.
Oh yeah. Picard's son or whoever he may be, very dishy. I do agree. I'm loving the connection between him and Jordan's daughter. Just both act. It's so much great chemistry. They're sparking off each other. I mean, it's really fascinating. Fine. So my crying time last week, last episode, was the second one. The first one was like, oh, it's Data. Ah! The second one, when they woke up and he goes, Geordie, and he looks at the captain. I'm like, oh, yes, it's wonderful, right? So this idea is they have. All three Data and Law at war within themselves, and also a bit of Noonien and Sung, I think, and B4's in there as well.
Yeah. Now, again, this is something Brent Spiner is really great at. It gets him to sort of use all his various acting talents and have a bit of fun with it. But in this instance, it makes sense, right. Whereas the way he was used in last season of Picard didn't make any sense at all. Where he was he was like he was the 20th century, or sorry, the 21st century villain, guy who had been messing with the android stuff and whatever, and then at the end he pulls out the Project Karn, the eugenics file and all of that stuff, and it was just
again, it's all very, very on the nose. But was his daughter Soshi? I can't remember.
Soshi, that's right. Yeah, he was like her father. kind of thing in the before she goes off with Wesley at the end and all this sort of thing. Yeah, kind of, again,
I'm being rid of him before this series.
Yeah, I'm being sketchy because I only watched it once because I.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Don't watch it, okay? So fine. So they I do like when he turns to law, right? That's before, and so what they asking him? What are they asking him?
Well, they're well, first of all, he when it's Data, he's his first thing is he remembers the events of Star Trek Nemesis, yeah, which I thought was quite a nice link. But then, yeah, they're asking him about the security. Was it something to do with the security around Daystrom station?
So like that. Look, it's a plot point, okay? You're seeing him, right? No, fine. They're working out this is all I'm working out. That's him and Law basically, at war with each other. Can you disconnect? And disentangle them? Oh no, Captain. This is far more advanced than Data. And I didn't know what to do there. So, so that basically they're just setting up the problem. Meanwhile, on the Shrike, we don't get to see Riker or Troy, but we do get to see more of this strange relationship.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
So I thought it was, at first I thought that she was a human with a shapeshifter implanted in her or something like that. So now it turns out, no, she is a changeling. And it's got to be Par Race. My money's on being Par Race are the real bad guys behind everything, right? I doubt we're seeing Avery Brooks, but oh God, could you imagine?
Yeah, I don't think we will, but that would be cool.
I don't think we will at all. He's very disassociated, which is such a shame. I have to say, I think he was such a positive role model for Black American fatherhood, right? Which is like that there needs to be positive role models for. I believe. I don't know why he's disassociated with the role. I really don't. But,
I think he's just retired from acting. I think it's as simple as that. I think he's just retired. I believe so. But yeah, I don't think he has any particular, problem with Star Trek. It's just that he's just retired from acting. I
because there was that great DS9 documentary, What They Left Behind. Don't you see that, right?
Yeah, that was very good. Yeah.
So he's the only one not like they have archive footage of him. Everybody else.
Great. Yeah.
Everybody else is in it, right? And they're really fantastic in it. Okay, so fine. So this new villain this is a changeling who has strange masters, right? And they're I love it. You're malleable by nature, and so they've got to try and find. He said, I wasn't able to get Riker or Troy to talk, which means they're both alive and like they both survived. They're being tortured. I'm like, well, that's impressive. Meanwhile, so she's screwed, in other words. But like, oh boy, does she come into her home this week? Meanwhile, we have the Crusher LaForge relationship. He sort of reads ahead, reads the mind, or does he? Is he just imagining he does, and he's thinking, and she's thinking, he's kind of cute. Maybe I wish I'd make a subtle indication to me. Maybe just touch my finger like that, right? Then he does that, and he walks out and says, "Why'd you do that?" And then his glowy eyes are. What's your theory about this?
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with Jack. The only thing, and this is a bit of a stretch, this is a bit of a reach, but if he is Picard's biological son, all right, we know that years before he was conceived, Picard was captured and assimilated by the Borg, right? And even though they took out all the Borg implants, who knows what that actually did to his genetic DNA? And I'm just wondering whether this is some sort of latent thing. And
here's why I don't think it is.
I don't know.
This seems more demonic, super powerful alien than it does technological, right? This feels like either like Gary, what's his name? Not Gary Seven. The one from the pilot.
Gary Mitchell.
Gary Mitchell. Gary Mitchell.
They had the ESP guys, weren't they? Yeah, the ESPers.
Yeah. Or somehow a Palwraith fathered the child and was able to have the child fathered as a vessel for him.
Right.
That's my my guess.
Yeah.
The
only thing is they had the silver eyes, didn't they, rather than the red eyes. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I not that. I mean, there's so many superpower aliens they could it could be. Yeah, it's like Q or we've met. I mean, they've started to rehabilitate Cyborg in Strange New Worlds, coming out this year. Looking forward to that. That's in May, I believe.
June, I believe.
June. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward. Yeah, I am nervous, right? I'm much more settled now than I was. Actually, I'm not, right? Because I think this is awesome by happenstance. It's like I really do. I think when they just greenlit a Kurtzman led Starfleet Academy show to connect with.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that.
I mean, really, how are you so stupid? It's the way, like, how do you do the same stupid thing over and over again without real? It's like you must be a TV executive, right? That's the only explanation. Anyway, so he's like, "Oh, what's wrong with me?" So then he goes to, I thought he was going to go to talk. Yeah, then he goes to talk to. He's looking for Picard, I think.
Yeah, he talks about handing himself in to rescue Riker because Riker had been nothing but nice to him and all of that sort of stuff. And Picard's like, absolutely not, so.
Meanwhile, but they do work out that their need to find him that is their weakness, the Shrike's weakness. So they basically, that's what they do. They go somewhere where the Shrike can find them. And they turn themselves in, and they have this whole trap plan, and they don't see it because she's so insanely desperate, right? Which again, she's really good at this role, right? Mm-hmm. Again, this is a Khan level villain. I
agree. Yeah, I think she's great.
Right. They board the ship. There's scattered life signs. And they meet Jack, and they have this whole awesome trap where they block people off with force fields, right? And it works very well. They capture everybody, I think, pretty quickly, and she's not. Nobody's really worried about it, but they can't get out, so they're trapped in. And then suddenly he loses controls to the transporters because that's how they need to. And what's going on, and Law has taken over. Dun dun dun. I love the archness of Law, right?
Yeah. Well, they even joke that, don't they? LaForge's daughter says, has he always been this arch? Which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the new makeup as well. It feels like Brent Spiner. It feels like it feels like he doesn't have to go through as much makeup as he used to have, and it's fine.
I'm sure it was his idea. I'm sure it was like, if I come back, if I do this again, I don't want to wear the bloody
eyes. Yeah, can I be human this time again? I think. But I think this also ties into this legitimizes Picard's android body now a lot more because they're basically the same, right? Yeah. So so that I think
it also made Brent Spiner's character from season 1 of Picard actually make some sense. And
which one was that? How do you remember? Who was that?
Well, because he appeared as a hologram a couple of episodes ago in this, didn't he? He was the one that explained.
So he was in season 1?
Yes. Yeah, he was the one who gave Picard.
Season 1 was the
he was the one on the planet of androids that gave.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was awful.
Picard.
Right. I remember how bad that was.
It was terrible, but
it was terrible. Well, Soji, very hot in it. Very, very hot. You can't underestimate. Very like in a desert. The mere bit of eye candy really helped. So anyway, what's the name? Steps up her evilness. Great Star Trekky debate right now where they decide, should we just kill her? Right, essentially.
Well, I actually think in terms of the sort of Star Trek Prime directiveness of all this, in the moral dilemma, I actually think this is quite good because because the Vadik sort of has a legitimate reason.
She has a very legitimate crime.
She was experimented on and tortured, by Starfleet, by the very people she's now attacking, and
she's certainly attacking them as a surrogate, right? It's not she seems to be somebody else's cat's paw. But this whole scene again, where they're trying to decide whether or not to kill her, that feels where it started. So they found out
the other thing it does, and I love it when Star Trek does this. It explains why she has the form that she has. She took on the form of the scientist that all those years ago, experimented on her. And I just kind of think that's that, I like it when they do. Obviously, they did it with Data originally, being like in the image of his creator, and the same with the holographic Doctor in Voyager and all this sort of thing. And because my first question was if she was a changeling, why didn't she just look like Odo and the other changelings?
Well, no, I think because we found out their weird abilities. Yeah, I think she's kind of like. I think we're gonna hear some more about that.
Yeah, right? Exactly. It's good. I'm really liking this because there are still loads of questions, and it's not.
Yeah, but it's telling a story, right?
Mystery box, is it? So yeah.
Okay, this seems great. She's singing Three Blind Mice. So now she basically talking about her origins, about how she was tortured and experimented on. So the interesting thing about this is I feel this is seeing a dark dystopian side of Starfleet without it destroying Starfleet. I think the Starfleet we saw in season 1 was not Starfleet. It didn't feel like Starfleet. This still feels like Starfleet. But I think Alex Kurtzman's trouble is he just fell in love with the whole Section 31 thing. I went back and started thinking about Into Darkness, which is where he started with that.
Yeah,
right? That's his one-trick pony idea.
It is, and the trouble with the whole Section 31 thing is, okay, I know Picard is set, years after everything, so okay, but the whole idea was always that nobody was supposed to know about Section 31.
Right.
And now, they've even got their own bloody badge, in the Kurtzman universe.
I remember that black alert.
And it's like kind of, this is supposed to be a hugely covert that very few people other than, real high ups in Starfleet even know about. Yet now everybody knows about it. It's
right. In every time zone, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
29th century in the prequel. Anyway. So we go through our, and then this totally legitimizes her origin, right?
I love it.
This is you just see her turning into her behind her oppressor, and so I think they're deciding to kill her, and Law's taking over everything, and how he lowers the force fields. Oh yeah, no, this is the scene where I cried. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, this kind of redeemed a little bit for me because one of my, and I have mild nitpicks with the show. I'm really loving it, but I have mild nitpicks. And one of the things in last week's episode is I sort of thought that Geordi wasn't really the character that we remembered. And there again, 20 years had passed and he's had daughters and all sorts of stuff, right? But this was brilliant because this was, LeVar Burton and Geordi getting to have their thing about how losing Data really, hurt them and stuff. I thought, yes, this is brilliant. There's Geordi. Love it.
Right. For me, I think this also was better than putting in this episode than last episode.
Yes.
A, it gives them time to soak up the information. B, you want to space out these scenes, right? But
I agree.
Look, this and
some great acting there as well. I mean, really, really good stuff from LeVar Burton.
Exactly. I think he knows this is the best scene he's ever going to play.
He wouldn't have been able to do that with a visor, would he?
No, exactly. I totally forgot about that. Fine. So they're deciding whether to kill her. And then he lets the force fields down, and she escapes.
I think this is so true to character as well, because again, back in Next Gen, I think the episode was called Descent or whatever.
Yes.
Lore kind of got in with the Borg in that episode, didn't he? Sort of partnered up with the Borg and stuff, and in this he's now sort of partnering up with these changelings, and I think I do sort of find that true to character. It feels.
I feel like correct. If we're put in that situation, he wakes up and he feels like he can cause chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that will benefit him.
Exactly.
But I love this fight scene with the first it's Crusher. Was it Anne LaForge? And then Crusher can't reach her. Somehow he's able to control her body to fight, right? And he finally appeals to Data. Why does he have an original series?
Do you know, this has been something that's been kind of bugging me, because I like one of the things I love about Star Trek is all the details, like props and.
I mean, this means something. This totally means something.
Yeah, and I've noticed that in this, he has had, whether it's been his hallucinations or now what's actually happening, he has had a original series phaser where everybody else has had like the Picard era phases, So
the new. I think we just saw one, didn't we?
It's weird, yeah. There was a picture of Patrick Stewart with one a few slides back,
right.
Which have sort of a.
Oh, there you go. That's what the new ones look like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just weird that he has a different phaser. I was wondering about that. I don't know. Don't know what that's.
Again, I am fascinated to find out who you may be. Right. So now they're trying. They're trying to find them. Shaw goes after them. I think he ends up he ends up getting captured. Right. I don't have a good screen grab. He falls out of the elevator, beaten up, and they have a battle for the bridge, which they lose pretty darn quickly. Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bit. This is a little bit Star Trek trope, but. Who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly. The so she sends a message to the ship that now you're gonna find out who Jack Crusher really is. Dun dun dun, and they're gonna reveal his secret origins. I love her performance, right? I love how crazy she is.
I do. Yeah, I think she's fantastic. Really impressed.
She went from being weird, like why did they cast her, to she's fantastic. Love the titles. They're all so beautiful. They're also Star Trekky.
They are. I mean, apparently they all contain Easter eggs, but I haven't really done the whole.
When they're in what's the name? I like it as Daystrom Institute rather than Section 31. By the way, I think that for me makes a difference. Right, yes. I love they were in the Daystrom Institute. All the little Easter eggs there. You had Kirk's body. Who else they had there? The killer tribble.
Actually, Daystrom Station, because the Institute is the one in Japan on Earth, isn't it?
Okay, fine.
I think the station is this thing. Sorry, I'm being pedantic. I know.
No, it's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. So this was episode 7?
This was 7 of 10, yeah. So
right, I thought it was 9. I looked like it was 10. I was very happy about that. So this the best Star Trek I've seen. This is for me easily equal to Star Trek 2, 3, and 4. right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely loving it. It hasn't disappointed. I hope it sticks the landing, but so far
Even if it doesn't at this point, I don't care.
Yeah, I've got a really good feeling. So
yeah, I think it's good. I mean, like,
it.
they've got everything right so far, right?
Exactly.
So good for them. I look forward to Thursdays now.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, put it this way, I actually because here in the UK we technically get it on the Friday, right?
Right.
But I actually watch it at like 5 past midnight on a Friday morning. Literally, even if I've got work the next day, which
you could just BitTorrent it on Thursday,
but I just do it because I've got Amazon Prime, so
that's why I don't mind BitTorrenting it. So do I.
Yeah.
Right. I own it anyway. This is just why you pissing around. Make me wait a day. I want to watch it now.
You know, not in this week's, but in the previous week's episode, the version on Amazon Prime, there was something wrong with it because at the beginning, when Vadic's crew are speaking, there was no subtitles, right? So I turned the subtitles on to try to see, and it just said alien language. But Pete, who I do the show with, who lives in the States,
right?
He showed me there was actually subtitles, and they had
subtitles.
dialogue.
You needed them to understand what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what was going on there, but hey ho. So
what can you say? Where are you heading off to now? You have to be on somebody else's stream?
I'm actually, and apologies to everybody watching and stuff.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me on. But I'm actually going over to the Space Book to Dan.
Oh, he's on right now.
Right. Because he too invited me on, and I was like, oh, is there a way I can do both? And fortunately, you guys have both made that possible. So
okay, so listen,
and I will have my own show. I will have my own show for this dropping this weekend as well. So on Home Media Minefield. Let's see what
we will watch it with glee and gusto.
I appreciate that. Thanks ever so much. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind comments as well. I really appreciate those. And I'll see you next time. Yeah.
Do it a bit.
Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
He's still there. There you go. Well, let's pull up the eye candy again, and we will finally get to the chat in our room. And then there's so much. There's actually some news I want to get to as well. Good for Doctor Who magazine. Fine. So that was yesterday. What was it? Yeah, no, his story about being a drag queen. Yeah, we love drag queens. We don't love them in schools. Oh, tell you, Perry Ruby, looking very healthy. April Fool, ladies and gentlemen. April Fools. I should have put him in a bondage gear or some sort, but never mind. Fine, where am I up to? Jordan Lee, how you doing? Oh no, not Jordan Lee. Petey Rich. Take off something about Jordan Lee. Jordan Lee is not there. He took it off. Must be. Facebook just starting his own show. Terribly sorry. Superb thumbnail, Rabbi. You are right, Dan. You are the master of layers. I lathered myself up a bit with that one. That is true. And yes, I'm wondering how Miller's tights are so torn. Well, she's a naughty girl. Darren M is here. How you doing, Darren M? They've now since they turned into extremists. We're going to talk about them. The toxic fandom. We love it. Parent go around making baffling decisions. They are. They just don't know what they're idiots from school that don't know what to do, right? Man, if they just had Terry Matalis run Star Trek, right, instead of Kurtzman. Matthew J is here. How you doing, Matthew J? Gareth Morgan is here as well. How are you, Gareth Morgan? But Gareth Morgan says he's done with Star Trek. It's dead to him. I'm sorry, mate. I am sorry. I understand. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. TARDIS time is here. Rabbi, I can't believe it. That's April Fool here. Let me just let me share that with you. Right, this is 30 seconds long. There we go. The big news of the day, which is just breaking. Jodie Whittaker is not done with the role of Doctor Who. I thought she was finished. No, she's coming back to Doctor Who, and not only coming back for a cameo, she's coming back for a whole bloody miniseries, right? It's going to debut 1 year today. April bloody Fool! Morons! She's never, ever, ever coming back! Well, you know, one does one's best. Doink. What are we up to? We got to do the Victoria Alonso article as well tonight. That looks hilarious. So Dada's Time is here. How you doing, Dada's Time? Mark the Vicar is here. Evening, Mark the Vicar. Our drag queens, they kind of used to be before they started into wanting to hang out with your children, right? They used to be a lot of fun. Kirsty and family has started. Metalist did what was needed. Kurtzman does not need him anymore. I know. It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. I'll never be able to see New Who as the same, knowing that Rusty Davidson was sodomized by a drag queen while Chris and Billy were doing. Well, I think he may have been the sodomite rather than the sodomized. Secondly, he seemed to be very happy with all his decision. You know, I God bless him. I don't mind that he had a show. I just don't feel that's where he was. That's where if my kids do that, I'm just like, you know, not sure that's the best use of their time, right? That's the best way of placing it in life. And I'm not judging. I'm just my opinion. I'm not going to force my opinion on you or your children. I want to educate my children in my opinion, but when they're adults, they get to choose for themselves, right? Because that's what life is for, right? Yeah. How do you show somebody an appreciation for a present? You show them using it, right? Right. You use it and you enjoy it. That's what life is. You know, you want your kids to use and enjoy their life, right? Peter Rich just said Alien. What was Alien? Don't know how we got that. Ironic. Last week, says Gareth Morgan, I got all seasons of Eccleston and Capaldi, 140 over 50 there that were practically thrown out. I boxed all my New Who DVDs and Blu-rays with Trek stuff. No more. Really? Wow. I mean, listen, mate. It doesn't bother. I mean, like, again, it's your lifestyle. I have no judgment on him for it. I really don't. That's just me for you. That was Ron D. Moore's idea. It said that he went on to Battlestar Galactica. What did Keith say? Oh, Keith was saying, yeah. Essentially, Ron D. Moore wanted to do exactly what Keith was saying. Also, Michael had to pull to due health. That also hurt it. They were not lost, unfortunately. They knew exactly where they were. They're on the way back to Gavgor on a 75-year trip. But they really didn't know what else coming. You know, coming in. It was a bit too safe, right? I mean, that's generally the problem. Jane was awful, Captain. We cannot criticize her. Oh God, her voice was awful. It's like this noise at the back of your, behind your eyes. Oh, Cam Gas Crash goes there. How you doing, Painway? Cam Gas Painway. That's very true. Criblin the Bloom, and hi, sir. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Where are we up to? I think we're up to date. Fine. Let's go on to the next story. I want to look a bit at the news as well, but I have to go over here to find them. We go to desktop. They're all on the desktop. Love a bit of desktop, darling. I get on the desktop, do you? Yes, you do, you slut. This is funny. This is funny. Here we go. Doink. Now I've got to put it on order. That's fine. Apparently, the mystery what's it called again? The mystery personality from season 1 is has and Robinson. They're saying. I'm still trying to piece this together. That's not that. Looks like that's a lot. I found the first one and the last one. Right. Let's keep going. That looks like a middle one. That looks like what am I talking about? I'm talking about the next story. I got the screen grab to put them in the right order. I must be missing some. Where's it going? I totally missed some. Where are they? Where are they? Not there. Maybe I put them in downloads. Maybe they're in downloads. Let's have a look. No. But you know what? I know where I can grab them from. Fear not, faithful viewer. I am here. I am here with you. I'm here to find these things for you. Oh, I actually bookmarked it. Okay, all bookmarks. We go over here. Fine. We'll share the tweet, right? We'll go close this. We'll go over here. And we go. Fine. Let me go share screen. Oh, it's the Chrome tab. Ah! Making me crazy. There we go. Share screen. Chrome tab. Twat. He's watching the twat. Fine. This is just good news, right? This is just very, very good news. Oh, here we go. That's the screen I'm looking for. Star Hoovian, by the way, at Star Hoovian is somebody you should absolutely be following. It's he has a wonderful Twitter account where he always pulls up good and interesting stuff, and I like his take on just about everything. So he comments, Doctor Who magazine, which has really got so much better ever since Jodie left, standing up against the mob who want to suppress notorious transphobic author Trevor Baxendale. He calls him notorious, obviously in quotes, because he isn't. Cancelled from the they want to see him cancelled from the magazine. Things you love to see. Okay, so this is how this started. Ezekiel Thorpe was not happy, right? Was not happy. So last month, I emailed Doctor Who magazine to complain about Trevor Baxendale article in the Sarah Dane issue, and got this response today. It's almost as if my lack of business I give them is somehow a factor. I don't know. They don't see my complete moral righteousness. They are really that evil. Yes, they are. They're really that evil. So then the answer, this is just beautiful in every way. You're beautiful. You'll state that the inclusion of the notorious transphobic author Trevor Baxendale is a dilemma. Mr. Baxendale was asked to write a piece on his 6 favorite stories featuring the Master for issue 588. Great little article, which I actually made a video on. As a Master story that he's written was just being released as an audiobook by Big Finish. I'm not aware of any statements by Trevor Baxendale, public or otherwise, that suggest he is transphobic. On the contrary, after seeing the comments people were making about him on Twitter, he contacted the magazine to tell us that he was most definitely not transphobic and had suffered mental distress as a result of their untrue things that were being said about him on social media. That's the thing. How do you awful bullies possibly think they're on the right side of history? Right? It's absolutely insane. With regard to coverage of Gareth Roberts' story, issue 588, celebrated of the Sarah Jane adventures, there was no suggestion whatsoever that any of the stories Mr. Roberts wrote for the series were transphobic. Indeed, many of them were and are highly thought of by fans. By fans, not weird creepozoids like you, right? So they weren't so happy with that. They weren't so happy at that great disrespect, which was just wonderful, right? Absolutely wonderful. Let me just see if I can put this in some kind of order. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's just share the screen. This is hilarious. Philip Bogart, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. I should check over Rumble, see if there's anybody there. Darren M is there. Fine, okay. Just watching over. Please hit the like button on Rumble. If you're on Rumble, hit subscribe, baby. Like, I would like more subscribers. I know that's vain. I know that's petty. I would still like more subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. Am I promising you any form of sexual pleasure that you will experience from subscribing to my channel? Well, it could happen, mate. It could happen. You know, look, people get turned on to stranger things nowadays, you know? They do. Give it a go. Give it a go. You might like it. So, this is how they get all the responses, and they're gorgeous. The Gareth Robert part isn't technically wrong. It's just completely sidestepping the issue. Because there is no issue. You are a moron. See, I would love to have this person and talk about this. Or I'm going to be doing Rumble-only shows, right? Because I would really like to, without calling somebody a moron, right? Have a genuine conversation. Like, why do they think J.K. Rowling is a bad person? Why do they think that Gareth Roberts is a bad person? I would love to talk to somebody about that because, you know, the idea they are seems rather silly, right? I hate to tell you. Also, this just looked very unprofessionally put. No, it was like, well, it was very professionally put. They slapped you down because you're an absolute bloody moron. Yeah, for context, I did considering his views. Considering his views, they might want to avoid calling him a genius and so forth. Absolutely nowhere did I say the stories themselves are fanphobic. You're saying we want to get rid of him. Okay, reminder, you called him a notorious transphobic author, Trevor Baxendale, saying it was a dilemma. Right? You know, they always want to pretend they didn't do shit. No, you did shit, mate. So Andrew Hisia says, very highly thought of by fans. Is that all they can come up with as an excuse? Yeah, because here's the thing. Fans buy the magazine. Cunts like you don't. Right? That's the difference. Right? Fans buy the magazine. Fans are the audience. You idiots complaining about everything on Twitter are not. You got to understand. It's almost like a clueless gay boy's idea of a glamorous lady, but of course, it's definitely not that. Yeah, he was he did take the piss out of the trans world, right? That you can't take the piss out of them seems to be just terrible. I would never do that because I'll get a community strike on Twitter, on what's it called, on YouTube, right? Jenny says these are not the endorsement of somebody who likes trans people. Okay, these are his likes, people, follows, and agrees with. Transphobia being equated to saving children. Again, listen, you can educate your children in whatever manner that you want. My children are free to make their own decisions. I will educate them in the manner that I think is best for them because I love my children. I don't hate you. Now, again, if they when they reach adulthood wish to be trans, okay. Right? I will educate them in my values, not your values, because I think your values have made you into this miserable person. Right? I think your values lead you to a miserable, empty life. Right? There's not being trans. I think it's just your values. Endorsing calling Labour twats solely because they want Gender Recognition Act. That didn't somebody like, okay, you're not allowed to talk about it on YouTube, but wasn't there an incident at a prison recently, or somebody getting pregnant weirdly? I don't know. Want to ban conversion therapy. Well, isn't I thought conversion therapy was trying to convert people away from being gay to being straight, right? What is conversion therapy? The last one even refutes the idea trans is real. That's your perception, which seems a bit weird. We've not seen it said that he is, so therefore he's not transphobic. Bye. Yeah, okay, exactly. I don't assume that Philip here is a child molester. so I assume he's not a child molester. Yes, that's true. Can someone email them evidence that shows he's transphobic and see how they respond to that? Yeah, I'd love to see the evidence. Right? Do I have the picture of the evidence? I love this face. This is like, yeah, this is definitely their face. Like, really? What the hell? What was the original post? This goes on forever though. I wonder what Rusty Davis and clearly pro-trans team at Bad Wolf TV would make of this. The official Doctor Who magazine not only employing somebody who has openly treated transphobic comments, no he hasn't, but now also defended by a magazine as well. What was it about Baxendale? Nothing. I mean, I'll concede that Roberts... I love how they don't write his name. Because he's like Voldemort. Stories I love. Hell, Temptation of Sarah Jane is one of my favorite Sarah Jane adventures. Gotta love a good old I've been attacked and made me mentally unwell excuse and variation. Don't like transphobic comments then, Trevor. I don't know what you're trying to say. But I love this face from David Tennant. This is really their face right now. Like, what? How? Right? Look, I just think this is an element we've endorsed for too long. Dino has become a bin fire of fan rage. No way can they come back from this. What are you talking about? Oh my God, this is frustrating. I bet it is. This is very lame, DWM. Icky. DWM tweets. You have some explaining to. Not to you, moron. I mean, like, what's the explaining he has to do, right? Absolutely pathetic response. What the is this? Duh! I love that they like at BBC as well. Do you know what they're doing? Oh Christ! This is utterly repulsive and grossly. This is hilarious, grossly unprofessional on their part. The Braxton defense is bad enough, but then completely sidestepping over Roberts' stuff to talk about the episode quality is reprehensible. It's about the episodes. Screw again. Do any of you buy Doctor Who magazine? Does any of you buy Doctor Who magazine? Right? Genuinely. Because I don't think you do. Bit of cray-cray. That's good, I guess. Doctor Who magazine. I guess it's a Doctor Who magazine after all. Everything in it should be limit itself to regards to what happens on Doctor Who production. Wouldn't like anything regarding the show's history to be memory hold. It's what got us lost episodes. What the hell? Okay. Did somebody scroll this on the back of a napkin? Why did you? This is why you hire a good comms team. It is a good comms team. It's sending you a message. The message is shut up. So anyway, yes. They didn't reply when I emailed them to criticize their NFT promo. So I wonder if they got enough complaints about this one to respond with a party line. Just ignore them. Okay, now here's what you need to understand, darling. You're wrong. Okay? You are wrong. You need to understand you're wrong. You understand how wrong you actually are. Right? The people who are most benefiting. And I can't really talk about this on YouTube. We will do a Rumble only stream. I really want to talk about this. But I don't think in the chat we say Big Pharma. They are a big beneficiary. Philip Berger said, unfortunately, Jodie Whittaker will always be the officially 13th Doctor. Yes, but I think that 13th Doctor spent her entire incarnation in the Toymaker's realm, right? So you can basically chalk it down to that, right? And we could just kind of forget about it and move on. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's genuinely going to be retconned away, right? Genuinely going to be retconned away. One can only hope, right? One can only hope. Let's have a look at the news. I haven't looked at the news yet. We'll go. Let's go ahead. New window. That's right. That's what I want. We'll go to bounding into comics first. And a bit of Doctor Who action. Doctor Who. The TARDIS. There we go. News. What? Oh, okay. So they had Henry Cavill cast the new Master in Doctor Who. April Fools, mate. April Fools. He then saying he wants to play Doctor Who. Okay. First, let's look at banning in the comics. Greg Baldwin, virtual signals support for Transgender Day of Visibility by lashing out J.K. Rowling. Again, I would really like somebody to explain to me what exactly J.K. Rowling is. But if you have a YouTube channel, you've got to be very careful right now. There's a new CEO. They're much heavier on the censorship, I would say, right? So Agatha Christie is also being rewritten for modern audience. I can't say 10 little, they call it 10 little Indians, so they kind of started with that. Samuel Jackson suggests that Nick Fury will get the Jake Skywalker treatment in Disney Plus's Secret Invasion, probably. He also reveals upcoming Disney Plus Secret Invasion says as a political aspect that kind of fits where we are now. Well, where do you think we are now? That's really the question, mate, right? That's the question. Box office poison, Rachel Ziegler asks followers to fund body mutilation surgery for friend. Oh, God, stop. I just don't think this is a good idea here. Let's see if he can talk about it more. Who's okay, who's not? What happens when people get afraid and don't understand other people? Who can tell who's innocent and who's guilty in this particular instance? This is all just flailing because they've been wrong about freaking everything, right? Nevertheless, Jackson says he told the Skrulls they were trying to find them a place to live, and he promised them they were going to find them a planet where they could live and be well, blah, 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 blah. I don't think at any time you get cultures that have significant tensions between groups of people can then you find a corollary called war supply. I don't care. Leave me alone. Twitch streamer Unserious makes vile comment about national school shooting. I don't want to talk about it. Mandalorian series plummet. Yeah, numbers plummet. Look, Disney Plus has not done very well. Basic bottom line, Disney Plus has done badly. Brandon Sanderson gives the classy response to the wide hit piece about him and his readers. I don't even know who he is. Rumor, James Gunn to replace Kal-El with Black Kryptonian at being a Superman legacy script. I doubt it. It seems like they want to lean into tradition. Maybe. Look. People make dumb decisions. I guess we'll find out. Jason Momoa's trying to stave off Aquaman 2 disaster. It's going to be a disaster. I love this. Jonathan Major's text messages reveal to alleged domestic abuse, and they do not have my blessing on any of the charges placed. Interesting. Okay. Talking about Marvel, let's go over to this article over here. So yeah, it's on at Marvel. So Victoria Alonso was the president of SFX, right, for the last 13 movies. About the time all those movies have been absolutely terrible, right? And she's a massive activist for how do I close this? She's just this massive activist for trans lesbian awareness. And basically she was one of the major architects behind the phase 4 and phase 5 of the MCU, which is now totally screwed because they really need Jonathan Major, who seems his career is just imploding. So Disneyman and Broaden controversy of firing look, she was fired because she was shit, and the MCU has lost basically all its worth. Has been involved in controversy after firing the producer with help Marvel's cinematic universe for more than 2 decades. Last week, it was reported the studio cut ties with Victoria because of an indisputable breach of contract following her work on Amazon-nominated film Argentina 1985. But really, it's because she tanked the MCU, for God's sake. She took the fall for Kevin Feige. However, Alonso, via attorney Patty Glazer, who's like a big hitter apparently, has denied this. Instead, she said she was asked to do something she believed it was reprehensible. What is that? Whose cock did she have to suck? Victoria, a gay Latina who had the courage to criticize Disney, was silenced, Glazer said. Well, okay. The request was reportedly to do with the release of Marvel's latest release, Ant-Man and was Quantumania, Ant-Man 2 Quantumania. It's been reported that Marvel bosses allegedly wanted to blur the shop window that had a rainbow decorations as well as the word Pride for the release in Kuwait, a country with anti-LGBTQ laws. They always like, look, have you seen the poster for Star Wars where they removed John Boyega? Right? Yeah, no, yes, they do that. Alonso was overseeing the film's pro-production visual effects. Is claimed to have refused to make the effort. Allegedly, Marvel made the change with an outside contributor instead. Well, I guess they had to. The Independent has contacted Disney and Alonso for further comment. Last year, Alonso also was vocal during the Disney dispute with Florida over the Don't Say Gay bill. Why are you calling it Don't Say Gay? How about calling it the Parental Rights Bill, right? At any point, was it aimed solely at gay people? No. It prevented you having conversations with 6-year-olds without the bloody parents' permission about deeply sexual matters. Now, if you want to equate that with being gay, then you're equating a lot else with being gay that I don't think is gay. I think is, I can't say it on YouTube, right? I can't say it on YouTube. Man, I wish I had a YouTube dump button. Man, that would be awesome. Michael Campbell's here, by the way. How you doing, Michael Campbell? Fine. So, yeah, Don't Say Gay bill. Right, no, the Parental Rights Bill. The Anti-Grooming Bill. Urging former CEO Bob Chapek to voice his opposition after employees staged a walkout. Yeah, did you see how many staged a walkout? It was like 4 or 5 at Disney World. Fuck off, bye-bye. Who cares? Right? I mean, genuinely, who cares? And what did it cost them? It cost Disney's special status, which so now they got a much larger tax bill. Right? It's cost them massively. Right? I'm sorry. This is a dumpster fire for Disney. Fine. So Alonso was overseeing the visual effects, the shit effects that she was doing, is claimed to have refused to make the edit. Allegedly, Marvel episodes of the Independent contact Disney and Alonso further comment. I find Don't Say Gay, walk out. Yeah, you seem like a pain in the ass bitch to have around, I have to tell you. I ask you again, Mr. Chapek, please respect that we are selling family, take a stand against these crazy, outdated laws. Explain to me what you didn't like about the law, right? I'm sorry. Why is it a necessity to teach children about sex without my permission? About your take on sex, which I don't think is healthy. I think it's healthy. I don't think it's going to lead to a fulfilled life. All right? I don't think, look, again, Rossi Davis having sex in a club while they're filming Doctor Who. That sounds fine, right? If for him, I don't, and if that's what my children decide to do, that's their choice and it's fine, right? But I get to educate my children what I believe to be right and wrong, not you. That's the bottom line. I want my kids to have a happy life. That's it. Alonso started Marvel in 2006, co-producing Iron Man, and through associating with Marvel, became one of Hollywood's most powerful executives. Yeah, also they needed to up their ESG score, so they needed to hire more women executives. That's it. That's the entire thing. Oh man, yeah, she's bad news for them. Fine, let's have a look. Witcher Star claim Henry Cavill's exit is good news. Well, for him it is, not for them. Wants different actors play Geralt like Doctor. Shut up. Fusion Doctor had the most shocking companion. I don't care. I think probably a weeping angel in a shitty comic book nobody wants to watch. There we go. 5 ways future Doctor Who is repeating original era. Doctor Who had scrapped more elaborate plans for. Yeah, we read that. I've done that before. Henry Cavill cast as the new Master. In your dreams, mate. In your dreams. April Fools. Doctor set to feature Mickey Mouse and special episode again. April Fool, mate. That's got to be April Fool. Like the Henry Cavill one, much more obvious April Fool. Yeah, so it'll be soon enter production. We'll see the Doctor encountering Mickey Mouse in a mysterious corner of the galaxy. While further these, I think it sounds like April Fools to me. April 1st, 2023. Yeah. Stop. Where are we up to? Doctor Who edited teasers 2005 return. So yeah, somebody think it's Anne Robinson. Be interesting. Monster confirmation. Nothing's really going on. Is Doctor Who a role model? Oh, I think so. It depends. The last one wasn't. BBC promised highly ambitious reinvention of Doctor Who. Well, yeah, listen. They've hardly been coy about that, have they? Right? Doctor Who guest star. Well, yeah, they all speculate who the guest star is. Okay. Fine. I think, yeah. Okay, we read all the news. Right? We've caught up on the news. Let me have a look, see what's else on the thumbnail. Right, because tomorrow we've still got stuff I need to do. We need to do the Mando trailer. In the Mando review. There's a bunch in Doctor Who magazine to go over. Right, I would love to do the. I think on Tuesday we're going to do the interview with the directors. Probably tomorrow we'll do a review of the Dalek story that's been running to bring everybody up to speed on that. Right, that seems to be the plan. Yeah, I think that that will be the plan. Plus whatever else is shaking. Fine. So I'm going to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wish you a good evening. I will see you tomorrow. Mickey Mouse is the new Master should have been Donald. Well, yeah. Now I can certainly empathize that. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm going to hit it.